Hello, Melanie. Hello, hello. When you jump on, say hi. I know it's been a while. I'm so glad to be back, too. But you remember, we were coloring these little guys when I left the last time. We'd already done this one. We colored these two. We colored these two. Hello, hello. Hi, Ranska. Hi, Cheryl. And so tonight, I think we're going to color this girl right here. But we're also going to make something out of these four as well. So we've got lots to do tonight. So I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to get started. So I went ahead and put this girl on here so I could stamp her. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. So we're still doing the Hi Mommy set. We did the Life is Good. So we did this one. In case you forgot, I'll show them to you later. But this is one of the ones that we did. And I kind of have them set out on the project. I want to do them, and I don't want to pull that into the screen just yet. So we're going to go ahead and work on this one first. We're not going to do a project with her tonight, but we are going to do with the other four. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Okay. So let's go ahead and get her stamped up. Hi, Judy. I'm going to use my espresso, the purple one tonight. May have to stamp her twice, just because I want her to be just a little bit darker, and my ink pad is just a little bit low on juice. So I need to, I think I just got a big splotch on her head. I may have to stamp her again. Oh no, that's her hair. I'm good. All's good. All's good. All's good. Okay. So there we go. I'm trying to look and see. See how I got a little bit of black right there? I don't think it's supposed to stamp like that. So let me try that one more time and see what happens. I need to cut this paper down real quick. All right. All right. So that was not the way to start your night. Hey, Mama. I started my night out a little rough there. All right. Let's see if we could do a little better this time. No, maybe it is supposed to stamp like that. I don't know. That might be why I picked dark hair. Yep. So we're all good. I'm going to use this one. I may have to ask Jamie. I might have a flaw in my stamp, which would really be a bummer. But that's okay, because I'm probably going to give her dark hair anyway, because she is an Egyptian, so... What you looking for, hon? Dale's in the room with us tonight. I've been gone for a while, so he's hanging out with me. Alright, so I just cleaned up my stamp. I'm going to leave it on here. I'll worry about it later. Okay.
Hello, Michelle.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and color her. Can you put that somewhere so I don't knock it over? Thank you. Alright. So let's get some skin tones going here. I'm going to switch her up just a little bit tonight on the skin tones. So I am going to go with E04 and then I'm going to start with E000. And then I'm going to move on to E04 and then E13, 11, and 00. I don't know why. I just feel like changing it up. And I picked R12 for her cheeks. She's super cute. She won't take that long for us to color up, and then we'll make some gift card holders with our other guys. So let me zoom in so you guys can really see her. We are going to give her some black hair, I'm pretty sure. But we'll put some blue in it too to make it fancy. Alright, so everybody ready? Here we go. E0000 is what we're going to start with. We're going to wet the paper and we're going to color her face and her ear first. And this is just so that everything will blend a little more smoothly on her face. We'll do her arms and legs later. I'm just going to start out with this for now. So I'm going to go to E04. So how'd everybody doing while I was gone? I felt like I was gone for a long time. The show was great. It was the last one for this year. We'll start all up again in, I believe, March of next year. So we have a little bit of time. But next week will be a little rough again because Jamie comes on Sunday. And then we'll be preparing for our retreat. So, not sure if there'll be some days we don't get to do live, but we'll let you know for sure. But those of you who are going to be at the retreat, well, no worries for you. You'll get lots of coloring. E13 is next. And I'm going to use this to push back the E04 so we can keep that dark tan I'm going to give her going on. So I don't always use the same skin tones. I change it up a lot because I kind of, after you color a whole bunch of things, you sort of get tired of that same color. So you start switching it up a bit. It really isn't any particular preference as to why I choose to switch up the colors. Just for the fun of it. I'm also going to go next to E11. And since E13 was pretty dark, I'm going to use E11 a little bit more liberally than the rest. We're going to make her a little bit tanner than normal. I'm going to do her little nose. Yes, you have been gone way too long. Or maybe I should say so long. You've been gone so long. Okay, so E00 is going to be the last one, but I'm going to leave that marker open, and I'm going to use my R12 for her cheeks right now before I put that last color in. And I kind of put it on thick because it's dark skin tone, and I want to make sure it still stands out. Hi, Essie. Hi, Kathy. So that's why I put that on there kind of thick. So this is E00. I'm going in to blend those colors together. Just to give her a darker skin tone. I like it, so that's why I'm stuck on it. I felt like that was still a little bit of a line there, so I went ahead and touched it one more time to smooth it out. There we go. So now we're going to move on to her arms, and this is going to give her just a slightly darker skin tone than her little buddy here. So I knocked down my, here, I probably should cover my ink pad, because if I don't cover my ink pad, then that's probably why it doesn't work very well. But that's okay. All is good. All is good. E000 is our wet the paper color, so we're going to go ahead and do her arms. We'll have a little bit of detail in this one because I'll probably alternate all these fan colors because I think it's just super cool like that. So this is the one that's supposed to look a little bit like me. I kind of don't wear my hair like that, but if I was way back in the Egyptian time, I just may have worn my hair like that. Who knows? And these little legs, they're small areas, so I'm going to go ahead and color them at the same time. You can do that. You can color that much at the same time if you color it quickly. If you color it very slow, then you probably want to do the arms by themselves and then the legs. But we're going to try to do it all at one time. Hi, Meg. So we're just going to roll with it and see what we can do. She almost looks, if you took this part out, she almost looks like a little flapper girl, huh? I wonder if we can mask that out and make her a flapper girl. That would be super cute. Okay, so this is my E04. It's going to be the dark, so I'm going to do the shadowed area. I give her just a little bit of mark in her arm where it bends. A little bit underneath her bracelet and the bottom side of her hand. I'm going to do under here. Just where I want the most shadow to be. So because this one is up, I'm going to put the shadow under the bracelet instead of over the bracelet. A little bit there. And then we're going to go along the bottom where her legs are. You guys are mighty quiet tonight. Hi, Mary. Hi, Sheila. Look at more people jumping on. Yay! So tonight we're coloring an image from the Hi Mummy set that released in October. Who knows what next week is? Oh, I'm so super excited about next week. Next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. This is E13. Oh, you love my nails? Thank you. This is one of my favorite ones. I do it every now and then. I go back to this color because I like it so much. You know why I'm excited for next week? Well, I'm excited for the retreat for sure. But something else is happening next weekend as well. It is going to be a busy weekend for those of us here at Sweet Sentiment. New release again. You are correct. The retreat and the new release. And this time, I have 2 sets in the release this time. I love it when that happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but you can always tell when I've been tasked to draw something that I'm super excited about because I draw too many and then we have to do 2 sets instead of 1. And that is where we are with the next release. I'm super stoked about it. I cannot wait. So there will be 2 of my stamp sets in the release. And I'm so super excited about it. Alright, so we're using the second to the last color a little bit more liberally than the other colors. Aw, thank you, Cheryl. Hints? Let me see. What could I say? Well, what could I say? Let me think on that, and I'll see if I can give you a hint. My husband says there might be some relation between the Village People and our new release. I'm not sure that was very helpful to you guys, but it was kind of funny, and you'll know what I mean when you see the new release. You'll be able to put that together really easily. So we had a great time in Ontario. We met up with some people that we had met up with last year, that we met for the first time last year. Saw them again this year, so we were super happy to see them. They remembered us and were excited to see us, so that was super fun. There we go. Now she has all cleaned up, arms and legs and all kinds of stuff. I did get one tiny spot out of the lines, and I'm going to fix that right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. YMCA is so fun to see. Yes. It's way down here, right here. So I'm just going to push that back in. We'll make sure it stays. If it doesn't, we'll come back and hit it again with our colorless blender. But this thing, if you do not have a colorless blender, you're missing out. It's the 0. So helpful. This is probably my favorite Copic marker, other than all the purples. But you guys know how I feel about the purples. YMCA, it is fun. I love the YMCA. I like the song. And does that mean I'm old? You have 3 of them? I have 2. I have 2 colorless blenders, and I think one I haven't used at all for in case one of my other ones dies. Okay. Should we stay with the same color scheme that we've been doing on the other ones with the blue and purple? Or should we mix it up to something else? What do you guys think? I think I could remember what we used with the blue and purple. Never too old? It always comes back. They still play it at weddings and everything. For all those young people still know that song. Everybody knows it. Yes, the same. Okay, we're going to stick with that color scheme then. All right, so I believe we used B39. I think we put some purple in there. 37. Oh man, I don't remember. 39. Okay, so it's going to be close, but not perfectly the same. Let's try this one. Hold on, we'll swatch it out in a minute. And I think we used this one, so we could put a little bit of purple in it. Let's try this and see how this goes. Okay, got lots of scratch paper for swatching, so here we go. So we have 37, B39. I love those 2 colors together. B34. Nice. And then we're going to try and throw in this B63. And then we'll come back with B32. Oh yeah. See how pretty that's going to be? Oh yeah. I like that. We're going to do that for sure. I I don't know if that's exactly the same, but it'll be fun anyway. Okay, and then we need purple. So I'm pretty sure we did one of these. Okay, I'm not really sure what we did with any of it, but but it's okay. We'll figure it out. So this is what we're going to start and try with tonight. This is BV17. It's deep reddish blue. Might not be quite dark enough for the darkest shade. So we're going to do V09 first because it's darker. And then we'll swap up to V17. Nice. And then we'll go 15 and 12. I think this has enough blue and this has enough purple that it's going to look super good. So we're going to roll with that. V09, BV17, V17, V15. I think we put fluorescent in the other one. Let's see what the fluorescent purple looks like. Oh no, I can't do that with this color group. It won't work. Okay, so we have two sets here. We have the blues and the purples. So we're going to do blues and purples, but we also, I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the grays like we did in this, but we're going to use that for her dress because we're going to give her black hair. So I think that would be really good. So let's use the tees because I'm just feeling tees tonight. So I think we're just going to use a 3 color blend on the tees, and we're going to start with that. So I'm going to take my purple out of my, no wait, I think I have another Copic holder right here on my desk. Is this one? Pink! I have lots and lots of Copic holders on my desk. So T3, T2, T0, and if we need it, we'll throw in some of the colorless blender. But let's start, first we'll start with her dress, and then we'll do her hair, and then we'll go into all of the fancy colors. So we may have to go one darker than T3, but we'll see. Okay, so we're going to start with T3. Nope, I think T3 is going to be dark enough. And we're just going to put it around the darkest areas of her dress. Now we have to decide how so this one right here is part of this flap that goes in the front. Now all the rest of it could be folds, but I kind of like this one right here as also the same color as the rope. And this one. So I'm going to skip those and leave those for the color on the dress. So I'm going to put these dark lines here to indicate that for me so I don't mess that up. Hi, Colleen. And then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to kind of accent a few of these little folds because I want to bring those out. So I'm just going to go down, not all the way on them, but just partially, because I don't want this to turn out being really, really gray. I want this to be more of a white dress. I'm also going to put a little one right here because her dress is kind of folding up there. So I kind of want to do that as well. All right. Now, I also think maybe I think I might actually do this, but we'll wait until the end so I can decide on that for sure later. But for now, we're going to do just the dress. Okay, so this is our T2, And we're going to push back, just like we did with the skin. We're going to push back into that dark color so we don't wash it out. This is our middle one, so we're going to be a little bit careful with that. We'll use a lot of it, but we don't want to make it too dark. I'm going to extend out from where I put the last color. Like that. And then I'm just going to push on this one a little bit. So I want to soften that up. Notice I'm touching the paper really lightly because I don't want to make this too dark. Want it to kind of look white-ish, if you will. I'm seeing we're going to use the colorless blender as well because we're not just going to color this in with T0. So we're going to start pushing back on that shadow right there. Kind of starting to get this color going. Now this is, like we always talk about, this is the lighter color. It has more colorless blender in it, so it's going to push the ink around. So we have to be cautious when we do around the darkest shades because it will push that dark right on out of there. So I'm touching so lightly on the paper. Very, very lightly. Looks like I'm doing a lot, but I'm really not. Okay, now we're going to go in with the colorless blender and fill in our 0 colored spaces right here, and I'm just going to do this with a little bit of a back and forth, kind of smooth that out, and then it'll and you won't be able to tell quite as well as I can tell in real person how well this is blending together, but you will when we put all the really dark colors in to the rest of it. It's going to really stand out. Right now, you won't be able to see it quite as well, but I like to do it first so that I don't pick up any of the dark colors around it when I'm coloring in the light colors. So I think we're going to make her shoes a color. We're not going to make those white. So the only part that's going to be white is her dress. And then I think we'll do her hair next. Even though it's black, I don't normally like to do the black first, but I do want to do her hair. So, and I'm going to use some blue for her hair. And I think to make it really stand out, I'm going to use the B32. That's the last color in the blue combo. So this is the blue combo that we chose. That's the last color. We're going to use B32 first. And then we're going to go in with C9. We're going to do C7, 6. And I can't decide between 4 and 5, so I'm going to say 4 now, but I may change my mind. So don't judge me if I change my mind. Let's start with B32 first. This is where I like to put something a lot of people call underpainting, which is putting one color underneath another color to make it look shadowed or give it that tint of a different color. And I like to do that when I'm doing black hair because it just makes the hair pop. And honestly, black hair's sometimes not really totally black anyway. So I'm just putting some lines, almost like as if you would have highlighted your hair. So I'm just putting some little lines in here because I really just want to put a base coat of that blue underneath. Now when we finish, you won't really see the blue, but if I colored hair without the blue and with the blue side by side, you'd really be able to tell. So don't freak out when you do that, putting that blue up underneath there. I'm going to start with C9, and I'm going to do my really dark shadow areas first. So So right above her ear and below her ear and where this hair overlaps right there. I'm going to do a little bit up from the bottom on this hair because the artist drew some lines in there and I want to go ahead and capture that. I'm also going to do underneath this little band she's wearing around her head, because you would definitely see some shadow there. And then I'm just going to choose some areas like where these bangs come over her hair and underneath here where it comes over. And then I'm just going to choose a few different spots here where I'm just going to make this some long, some short, just a little bit there so you can see it. I'm going to do underneath this feather and then in the corners. And I'm not going to actually do much on the top of her head. I'm going to do a little bit by the feather again, but not on the top of her head until I get to the next color. Yeah, I sure can. Let me move the markers over a little bit so you can really see. You're right. I was not watching that. This is what happens when you take a break from live videos. You forget what you're watching for. Thank you for the reminder, Cheryl. That's very helpful to me to know that. So yes, I can definitely color with my marker a little bit further away from my body. And turn the paper a little bit so you can see a bit better what's going on here. Because you for sure, I mean, if you're watching, you want to know how to do it. You have to be able to follow what I'm doing. Oh, the blue-black hair. Yeah. So I put the blue on there first and then just leave it be on there. And then I color like it's not even there. I don't really pay much attention to it once I put it under there. I just want it under there so that you can really see it when through the other color. It's hard to explain, but when you watch it happen, it'll be more clear. Okay, so we're going to do back here behind the feather. We're going to do more from the back of her head this time. Because it's the second color, it's still very dark. Hi, Amy. Hi, Nikki. And I'm going to do a little bit up from here as well. I think we're going to need a little bit of this to show. So there's going to be some really short ones and some really long ones. And we'll fill that in quite a bit more as we go along. So our next color is C6. And this is the one before it starts getting really light. So the 4 is very light, and that's what you're going to be able to see the 32 through. But the 6 is still going to be pretty dark. So I'm going to start filling in a little bit more with this one. I'm going to do brush strokes so you can start to see it coming together. A little bit longer strokes. And a little bit more saturation on there. So I'm leaving some white areas. The next one, the next color will help close all of that white off, so you won't really see that anymore. I want to use more of the tip of my pen. If we get a little bit in the little headdress, it's okay because I'm probably going to do that in a pretty dark color anyway. Everything is always fixable. Oh, you like her? She's our little Egyptian princess here. Okay, so C4, I'm hoping this is not too light. So I'm going to do a little bit of a back and forth on this one to start coloring that in. 5 might have been a little better. Her hair won't be as dark as I wanted it to be. Yeah, I think we need C5. So I'm going to go to C5 instead of 4 because it needs to be slightly darker than it is. So let's do those strokes again over top. Because I don't want the blue to stand out. I don't want it to look like she has blue hair. I just want it to look like it's black hair that has a little hint of the blue underneath it. You can start seeing it now. Thanks, Meg. Now I can see it. It's coming across as the color I wanted it to be. So a little bit of a back and forth here to start bringing that color in. I generally do it a little bit darker than that, but I kind of like it. And let's see how it looks when we finish with the rest of it. But see how you can kind of see the blue, but not really? It sort of makes the blue hair a little better. Let's go back with C7 and put some dark back into it, since we had to go over it with C4 and C5. So we're going to go back in just in the shadowy areas and add a little bit more intense. So this was me not really sure how dark I wanted it to be. It's always better to start light and get darker than it is to start dark and then you can't change it. If I start lighter, I can always go back and change it if I want to. But if I start dark, I'm not going to be able to fix that. So whenever you go back in with the darkest color, you have to follow through, or most of the time you have to follow through with the next colors you have in your sequence. So this is 6. It's just to smooth out those deep lines that you put in there. So just kind of a little bit back and forth there. I want to color in just a little bit in between. And then I'm going to go in with the last one, which is C5, and finish it off. And I think this is going to be the color I was going for. This is way better. This is the black I wanted. Much better. Much happier with this one. So now I'll hold it up so you can see it better. You can still see the blue in there, but not quite as much as you could before. So now it looks like black hair, but it has that blue undertone, which I really like. And you're going to be able to see it a little bit when I put the blue in her outfit, but not that much. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to choose, I can put that one aside. We're going to choose what we're going to do blue and what we're going to do purple. Oh my goodness, where is my head? Blue, black, blue. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, which one's lighter? Let's see. Is my B12 lighter or is my B32 lighter? I think the V12. So what we're going to do is start with the V12, and I'm just going to touch where I want to put the purple. This is going to help me be able to make the, I think I did this guy with more purple than blue, I think. I don't know, it's pretty even, but I think he has more purple than blue. So this one, we're going to do more blue than purple. So I'm going to make this purple and this and this and this and this. That way we won't mess it up. And we're going to make this one purple, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And then up here underneath, I'm going to do this one and this one. I'm just trying to pick every other one, you know, so that one I did, that one I didn't. Opposite, opposite, opposite. Just kind of random, and you can choose whichever ones you want to do. But that's how I decide which one I want. And then I think I'm going to do this inner ring right here in the purple. And all I'm doing right now is marking where I want to put the purple so I don't mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so I think I'm going to make her little feather purple. So we'll put that in. The rest will all be blue. So I'm going to leave the purple on there. And I'm going to do the blue first. That way I can see what I'm doing. I won't mess it up, hopefully. B39. If I do, no one will be able to know but me anyway. But I like to take the lightest color and mark it up so I can tell where I want to do my coloring. And the blue will be all in the other spots. So I did not say her shoes, so we are going to start with her shoes and make them blue. So I'm just going to touch very tiny spots. The shoes are very tiny. You can't see a whole lot of them. So I'm just touching in the areas where I think the darkest part would be. And since this is a really dark blue, I'm just going to do the bottom of her shoes in the really dark blue. You're not really going to be able to tell, so we're going to roll with that. And since I already know I'm going to do these little bracelets in the blue, I'm going to go ahead and do those as well because they're so tiny, it won't take much to do them. And then B37. I don't do that marking all the time, but when there's a whole lot of back and forth, I'll do it. Like a checkered or, you know, something of that effect. I will definitely do that every other color. I'm not going to put a whole lot of this one in there. This B37 because it's still really dark. I don't want to have too much in there. B34 is going to be next. Again, this is teeny tiny areas, so I'm not going to put a whole lot in there. I just colored that whole bracelet that color. But I could just say I intended to do that. So B63 is the purpley blue color. So I definitely wanted to get that one in there. I don't really care so much about the last color because this is all going to be colored in anyway. So, and her shoes are going to be darker, smaller and further away. Some fuzzies on my paper. But I definitely want these little bracelets to have some of this purple. So I'm just going to color over top of where I put the original color. And I'm not going to do 32. I'm not going to do the last color. I just think that's too small of an area to worry about. See her little shoes? They look super cute. I think she needs just a tad bit more color on this bracelet because it's pretty light. Alright, so next I think what I'm going to do is go straight for that headband. I want that headband blue, so I'm going to go ahead and go right in and color that. So I'm going to do this back side blue. Now, it's going to look like it's blending a lot. I'm just smoothing out where I went over the headband with the black. I'm not really going to be able to tell that oh so much with this color because it's so dark. But when we put all the other colors in, it'll just all come together. So this one's B37. So a little bit more with that, a little bit jagged brush strokes. So we can get some dark in there and some light. And this will really give you what the blue color is going to be like on the rest of the image. So this will really help give you that clarification. B34 is next. There we go. Still very small areas. B63. This one has a little bit of the purple in it. Gonna follow it up with the last color, which is B32. We're gonna have to open these markers and close these markers a million times for these little bitty spaces. This one's just smoothing it all out, leaving a highlight area in there. And there we go. Now we have a really nice pretty blue. That's the color blue the rest of it's gonna be. It's gonna be a darker blue, a lighter blue than the blue we used in this one. This one's a little bit darker. But I think that's okay, because I'm not going to put them on the same card, I don't think, anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Alright, here we go in all the small spaces. So we have this little space for the first loop on this. I don't even know what you call that. Like collar kind of area, maybe. Might be a really official Egyptian term, but if you want to know what that Egyptian term is, you might need to ask Jamie. She would probably know way better than me. Okay, so I'm going to do this underside because it's very small area, and I can do it at the same time that I'm doing her collar. But I'm not going to do any of this side yet. It's too much at one time. You always swatch your colors now when they are all picked that you want. Do you ever check to see how close you are with the chart? So, not really, no. Well, I'm going to be honest. Jamie uses the chart a lot. I use it for different purposes. A lot of that is because, well, I've been coloring for 15, 20 years now. So I know these markers really well. So once I swatch it out, I can visualize what I'm going for before I do it. So I don't really check the hex chart. Now for a new colorist, you might want to check the hex chart to see, but I don't really do that. I do have it handy. It's close by, but I use it more. This is what she's talking about. This is the hex chart. I use it more if I have two colors that I really like for example, if I liked B37 and I liked B34, but I wanted something that would be in between that color, even if it was a different shade. Like if I wanted to use BB13, 37 and 34, 13 would be a good combo in between those two. So if I'm looking for something in between two colors and just won't come to me in my mind, I'll look at this chart for something that works with that. But as far as choosing my colors, not really. I don't really use that. I really do the swatch. And it might be because I didn't find the hex chart for a really long time, and I had already been coloring for quite some time before I discovered the hex chart. I do like it. I did like it when I was trying to collect all the colors because it was really helpful for me to say, well, you know, Jamie's coloring or somebody's coloring and they're calling for, you know, B37 and I don't have B37. What could I use that I do have that would be close And I would just look in here and say, oh, I could probably do B97 or 99 or, you know, like what is in this little area right here. So whatever's close by it is usually close to that color. So I use it for that. It was better when I didn't have all the colors for me, but I don't really use it a lot now. Yeah, it's a preference. It's a personal preference. I know in Jamie's videos she pulls out the hex chart a lot, and it's a great tool. I mean, it's a really great tool. And I mean, I like it, but I just don't use it as much as some other people do. I think part of it is the art in me already instilled in me. And honestly, even when you're looking at the hex chart, it doesn't tell you if those two are going to blend really well together or not. It tells you if they're close in color, if they're close in shading, if they're close, you know, and so you can kind of guess from there. But this, you're touching the other colors, so it's for sure going to tell you if that color is going to go together or not. I mean, if I picked up this B63 and tried to color it with that 12, look at how beautiful that, it just blends really well right alongside it. But if I try to blend it with this dark color, look at how it doesn't blend at all. It just colors right next to it. See, there's no blend there. This one will blend. They blend together and shade together. This one blends really well. This one blends. But this one, no blending. That's a hard pass right there. So to me, when I do it, I don't think Jamie does this swatching at all. But for me, that's where I see the clarity of all of it. So to me, it's just easier that way. But you know, everybody has their own way of doing things, so it's nice to see everybody's different way, because that way you can learn what works best for you. So that was B63, the one with a little bit of a purpley balance to it. And then B32 is next. Hi, Bobby. So this one's pretty light. It's going to help us with our highlight. So I'm going to fill in that area, and then I'm going to just touch it a little bit more to leave me a little bit of a highlight. And I'm going to touch these areas down here. And even the one that I already colored in. So now we have some blue going on. She kind of looks a little sketchy to me, but I would not give up. I keep going, because in the end, I may love it. You'd love to swatch? See, I'm not the only one. Awesome. To me, it's easier. So whenever I cut the paper, I end up with all these little extras, and you're like, what am I going to do with that? I can't stamp on that. That's just way too small. So I save all these, and then when I'm coloring, I just pull one out of my little stash, and that way I'm using every bit of the papers. Yes, you can see it before you start coloring your image. Yep, exactly. So now we're going to start with the B39 again. And I have to hold it up real close, because this is a very tiny little area up underneath her arm. And then this one down here that's really close to her. And then we're going to start doing them I'm doing kind of like the corners, just the edges at the top, and then more of a rounding the edges at the bottom. You kind of can see that, how that works. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, so that's how I'm coloring each one of these. Just a little bit at the top, and then a little bit more at the bottom. I want to make it a little bit more defined. And a little bit more roundy, if you will. A little bit more square at the top. A little bit more roundy up there. Now I know I've selected all the right blue areas. So the purple's color on there is what indicates which ones are going to be purple, so I don't mess them up. So those who just joined, that's why I have purple dots all over my paper. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here with B37 and continue. Again, B37 is only the second color and still very dark, so I don't want to do too much with the 37, except in the dark shadowy areas. This is up, kind of up under her arm, sort of, a little bit behind her. So it's okay if it's darker than her headband that's right out in the open. You can use them for sentiments, so no waste of sweet sentiment paper. Yep, exactly. I don't like to waste any sweet sentiment paper. Sweet sentiment paper is the best, so I like to use every single bit of it. I never throw it away. Sometimes Janie laughs at me, but I never throw it away. I don't throw little Ziploc baggies away either. I save them all, because you never know when you're gonna need one. You know? So, some things I won't throw away, some things I will. Like little scraps of other paper, I keep the big ones, but I throw the small ones away because I know myself and I'm probably not going to use it. I'm not going to dig for one that's the perfect size. So I tend to throw some of that away. So I get a little bit of waste with that, but not with sweet sentiment paper. No waste. I'm not okay with that. So these last two colors are going to lighten that up a bit. So I'm okay with it being a little bit darker, or appearing to be a little bit darker than the other colors right now. So these last two colors are going to lighten this up a bit. So I'm still trying to leave a little teeny bit of white space for the last color. And we'll kind of use that last color over the whole thing, kind of like sort of an overpaint, if you will, for lack of a better terminology for that. I sound like you. Save the paper that costs a lot of money. Scrap the paper that doesn't. Like when I did all those sweet keepers for the show, oh my gosh, I threw a lot of scrap papers away. So I'm going over to get a good blend on this, but I'm going over it more than once so I can lighten it up just a bit. There we go. Now we have all the blue filled in. So now, yes, when you can share all your little tricks and tips and tricks. Yep, love it. I would have saved it, but I think I saved the scraps of paper in the beginning when I was doing the sweet keepers, and then I had done so many of them, I was like, okay, I'm over it. They're going in the trash now. I mean, if you do 200 sweet keepers for show, that's 1,200 pockets. That's a lot of paper and a lot of scraps to be tracking. Okay, so V09, that's our darkest shade in the purple. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start with this little feather up here. And I want to leave a bit of the lines in between. So what I'm going to do is just accent the back side of all the lines. I'm not going to put anything on the front. We are going to blend this all together, so it's not really going to matter all that much, but I kind of want to leave it a little bit clear. I need to have the BB17 because it's a totally different color blue. So I don't want to leave that one out. So I'm going to do the same thing, but just kind of extend out a little bit further on these lines. And then I'm going to skip V17 and I'm going to go straight to V15 because this is such a small area and I feel like I'm not getting a whole lot of the brightness to it. And I don't want to put another dark shade in there. I'm struggling with putting these caps on the markers today. V12 is the last one, and I'm going to color it going in the opposite direction because that will push some of that dark color back and leave some of that really light color where I wanted it to be. So there we go. See how there's much lighter on the right side than the left side? All right, so now we're back to V09. And we're going to color her collar and this side just like we did before. We'll see how fast we can do that before we decide if we're going to do anything more than just I'm going to stay with the same style of coloring on each one of those little pelts so they look the same. I think I could actually do all of them, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it. We'll go for it and see how it goes. If it starts drying too fast, we'll stop. But for now, I think we could do enough with these. I'm not going to do her belt though, that's going to have to be last. With these little V's kind of curved at the bottom. It's the same way we did the blue. This is a really juicy marker, so I have to be a little bit careful. It must have been filled not that long ago. It's very juicy. Okay, there we go. We did good. We did good on coloring that much in that color. So now BB17 is next. I'm not doing a whole lot, but I do want to get some of this bluish purple color in here. This is a blue violet, so it definitely has a little bit of blue in it, which is good because it matches really well with the blue that we're putting on the, but it's going to come back to purple here in just a minute. Just hold tight a second and you'll see it come to life. There we go. All right, V17 we skipped when we were doing the feather, but we're definitely going to use it now. Oh, I guess I should have done this part right here or I'll forget. So I want to get that in there, leaving some white still. Again, that last V color is really going to bring this lighten all of this up for us. So I guess this one takes just a little bit longer to color because there's so much of that back and forth, back and forth. Have any tips or tricks they'd like to share with all of us? That's a good question, Cheryl. Does anyone else have any tips or tricks that they like to share? Feel free, jump in there. Hey, I always learn stuff from all you sweeties as well. I hear a lot of stuff at the conventions, little tips and tricks that people share. I try to come back and share them with you guys, but I always learn something new. I love it. Just because I've been coloring for a long time doesn't mean I can't learn something from you. I always learn new stuff. I learn from Jamie all the time. Start lighter than you think you want. Agreed. 1,000%. You can always go back and darken it. You cannot go back and lighten it. Well, to some extent you can lighten a little, but you can't like change the whole shade of it. So definitely start lighter. Especially when you're new and you're doing very tiny places, very tiny areas like this, you'll want to be real careful so that you don't get it too dark and then be frustrated. But you can see how this color is kind of doing a little bit of light in these areas. The longer I go across it, the lighter it gets. Do you see that? See it happening while I'm doing it? I'll show you a sample of it. Are you ready? If I colored, oh, I can show you on my swatch. If I colored this dark V09, these colors right here, these are the first three colors in our, and I went over them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Look how much lighter they get. You see that? That's what I mean by this V12 pushes the color. Look at how much that changed it. Just right along there in the center. It makes a big difference. Once you use these markers long enough, you will learn which markers have more alcohol and less pigment and which ones will move it. And then you can use it to your advantage, which is what Jamie and I do, is we use it to do highlights where we want them to be just like that. And it changes it. You just received your first pack of sweet sentiment paper to go with your first set of Copics. Yay! That's awesome. That is a happy day. For sure. Now we're going to do her little straps on the side and this little belt area in the front. And then we are finished with her. So V09, that's our darkest color. So the tucked in areas where it tucks in, and the sides around her hips and waist. Same thing on this side. You know there'll be a lot of folding going on there. So we want to make sure we get that accounted for right there. And then this part right here, I always like to put this little fold in it because I think it kind of clarifies. That is great news. I'm super excited for you. I think you're going to have so much fun. And I'm going to put just a little bit longer, kind of accent some of those folds and stuff. It'll come together, you'll see, as we keep going, but I'm just adding my own little accents in there to give it a little bit of style, the way that I want it. And as you color, you'll learn. And just put them in wherever you think. And if it doesn't work out, then you've learned something. And after all, it's only paper and it's handmade. So you can always do it again. And you'll learn. If you don't try, you'll never learn. You definitely want to try it. Try it, try. Never give up, never surrender. There we go. Again, it's looking a little bit on the dark side, but these other ones will lighten it up. All right. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Copics. You played with the Copics last week and you are in. You are loving them. Woohoo! That's awesome. That's how I was. I got a little frustrated when I first got them because I colored a couple of things and I was like, Oh, I want to be good at this already. So I started coloring every single day. Everything I could get my hands on, everything that I could color, I colored it. At least I made myself a promise to color at least 15 minutes every day. So even if it was just like just her hair, and then the next day I would do just her skin, and the next day I would do her dress, and so forth until I finished an image, and I would just do it like that a lot just to get the practice in. These are very small areas on the sides, so I went ahead and did them with the second to the last color, and we'll use the last color to lighten them up a little bit. There we go. Leaving a little bit of white for the last color. Yep. And it was so meditative. I would do it before I went to bed. I would color for just a little while, and then I would go to bed. I did it for years. I mean, years. Colored every single day. At least 15 minutes every single day. And that was way back when I had kids at home. I have no kids at home now, but I did back when I started. And then I found me some buddies who liked to color too, and we'd get together and color, and it was fun. Yes, gentle, very gentle. So there we go. Now we have a beautiful little girl, all colored up. And look at how her white dress pops now. It's not the same color as the paper. It's a little bit different, so it looks more white. It's awesome. I am going to put just a teeny bit of white in her eyes. Just a dot. Because I think that really makes it stand out. So just a tiny, tiny, tiny dot. You probably can't see that on here. There you go. Missed my coloring for the last 2 weeks. You've been helping your daughter with her new baby girl. Well, that's perfect. That's all the good reason for missing out on it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's our girl. New baby, congratulations. Oh, I love new baby smell. My grandbaby's so big now, it's missing out on all of that now. Okay, moving all the markers aside. So now I'm going to show you kind of what I set up for these other images. So we did this one tonight. I found in my stash, and it's getting close to Christmas time, I found in my stash that I had these. I don't remember where these are from, honestly, and I'm sorry. I wish it said on the die, but it doesn't. But if anybody recognizes them, shout out the name. But I bought these a while back, and they are gift card holders. And they have all these designs that go with them. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make these little gift card holders because I always need a gift card holder and I don't have one. So I'm going to make a few of them and put them together and be super duper happy. So we're going to start with this one. This is our little guy here. And I chose words from here to cut out at the same time, and a little window piece. And then these little things, I already die cut them so you wouldn't have to wait. You just fold on the score lines, so the sides are what holds it in. Pretty sure I have a gift card over here. I could show you how that works. Voila! I have a gift card. I'll try to find the name of it, but I don't remember what it's called. I know they have some at Art Impressions, and I really want to get us some at Sweet Sentiment, so we don't really have any just yet, but I would love for us to get a set. Okay, so it just folds up like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my espresso, and I'm just going to burnish all those edges. And that makes it very helpful. I'll show you how the gift card fits in there. It just fits right in there. You can actually tape the pockets down. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, and it would just slide right in here. But it's an absolute perfect fit, which I love. So it's helpful for to have your Barely Art glue. I actually have a little one. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll let you guys know. I'll Google it. So what I'm going to do is apply just a little bit of glue, maybe. I left my glue open. Not a good thing. You should not leave your glue open, by the way. Not for a week and a half. But this glue is amazing. So you just stick the pin in there, work it just a little bit, and then it should work just fine after that. Yep. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along this edge and along this edge. Could I put it on that? I could, but I'm not sure just exactly how far that's going to go up, and I don't want to put too much glue on there. So I'm just going to do it like this. This is why I have 2 espressos. Just kidding. But since I have 2, I might as well use them, right? That's not why I have 2, but I have 2 for when friends come over. But it worked out great for this. So then this card slides in there like that, and then you close it up. Well, it didn't give you like a specific closure, so you could use a Velcro dot or a sticker or something. But I thought I would use this on the front of it. I think that would be really neat. How else do I want to do this? I think I'm going to attach this. Do I want to do a belly band? I don't know. I don't want to tape it shut because I don't want them to, if I do it like this, then it'll make it easier for the Velcro. Let me see if I have any of those. Oh, look at that. I do have some. So I used all of my fantastic fasteners from Sweet Sentiment for, bet you can't guess. Yep, you got it. Sweet Keepers. So, I have these little baby ones. A glue dot would work, but these are Velcro, so they'll open and close, which I really like. These are the little baby ones. I think I got them at Walmart. They were really cheap. They're by Velcro. They say Velcro across the top. So I've already put them together. The fuzzy and the resistant side. I've already put them together. See, they're already together. So I just cut them apart, and then I have 4 little Velcro dots. And then I'm going to actually put this on there. So I'm just going to apply glue on half of it. I don't want to glue the whole thing down. I just want to glue half of it. So I'm going to hold this down. Put this on there where I want it. I'm going to use my espresso to kind of burnish that. Yeah, and these images are perfect. See, look at that. Excellent. Perfect. And then I'm going to put this little dot on there after I put this little guy on here. So I kind of wanted him to be sort of off in the corner because I have this sentiment to put on there, which is kind of a big sentiment, so maybe I don't want to use it necessarily. Should have cut it out in a different color. Oh, let's do this. I have another sentiment here. This one says enjoy. And I think I'll just put it on the back. It'll say enjoy. Enjoy your gift card. Awesome. So I'll glue that on there, and then we'll put him on the front. And we'll pop him up because I think he'd be awesome popped up. Look, I set them all out exactly how I wanted them to be, and then now I've already changed them. That's the way I roll. I never do anything exactly as planned. That's why they call me Rogue, because I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. I'm going to cut some of these up so I have some extra strips to put on this little guy. They're slippery little suckers. Seriously. So I'm going to use my tweezers because that makes life easier. So see, perfect fit. Perfect, perfect fit. He needs one on his arm. And I'm to look for the dies, but I cannot find the same set, but there are a lot of different ones popping everywhere. Yes, they are popping everywhere. They are sweet pops, and they are very poppy. Yes, there are some. I have some newer ones. Those ones are probably old. I want to say they came from Sizzix, because I used to only buy like interactive kind of stuff from them when I went to the expos. So I want to say they came from them, but I'm not 100% sure. I know Art Impressions has a nice one that you can actually buy some 3D like Santa or snowman or coffee or whatever. I have some of those as well, and I really like them. I buy lots of gift card things because I like to give gift cards out. I have a lot of older nieces and nephews, and I don't really know what they love, so I prefer to just do gift cards because then they'll be happy. Like Xbox gift cards or whatever their game system is. I'm cutting these long strips so I can put it down this scepter or whatever this is. Is that right, honey? What do you call this thing? Scepter?
Or staff.
Or staff. They kind of look like Mama Elephant. That's a possibility. They very well could be. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure where they came from, but they very well could have been Mama Elephant too. Now, you don't actually have to pop yours up like with so many sweet pops, but I have an addiction to these things. I just want it to really stick, and I don't like any part that like sinks down, so I always put it on there and then I touch it like this to make sure none of it sinks down, because I don't like it when it sinks down. I'm very picky about that. So now I'm going to take off the backings of all of them, which is pretty easy. If you struggle with any backings, you can always like press here and then they'll just peel right off. They're pretty easy, but these ones I don't really have any problems with. They come off pretty easy. I like them. These are the ones that we have in the shop. If you'd like them, you can get them at sweetsentiment.us. I need a 12-step meeting for Sweet Pops. For sure. I definitely think that is a possibility. Okay, so I put that in, and the easiest way to do these Velcro dots is the scratchy part, the part that takes the most resistance, should be the part that's on the base of the project. So I'm going to peel off the top of the soft side, and then I'm going to place that right here. And this is the trick I like. Then you peel this one off, leaving the two of them connected, and then you just close it and press it together, and that lines it up exactly where you need it to be. I love that trick. And then it just opens up. You can put your gift card in there. And then I'm going to put this word enjoy on here. Loving this Barely Art glue, so I can just put a little bit of glue on the back of these. Barely Art glue does come with these tips, so that makes it a lot easier. You do not have to buy them or find them. It comes with them. It also comes with a wide open tip for a larger project. It dries clear, so it doesn't matter that there's some oozing of glue on here. It dries completely clear. I think I just got them at Walmart.
No, not the store. Fantastic Fasteners.
Huh? The Fantastic Fasteners are bigger, are larger. The ones that we sell, the Fantastic Fasteners, but these, none of them have a, like I have a whole bunch of them, but none of them have a label on them. I don't know where I got them.
I think they're...
Oh wait, I lied. I found one with a label. Are you guys ready for this? I love this place too, by the way. I got a bunch of them at Creek Bank. Look, Creek Bank Creations.
I think you can get some microdots.
Creek Bank Creations.
Dollar General.
This is the rough side, and this is the soft side. They're on separate sheets. There's 60 sets in here, and I paid $3.49 for it. Super amazing, super inexpensive, and very easy. We don't carry the little ones. We carry the larger ones, the Fantastic Fasteners, for the, I did actually find one in here. But I'll show you how big the ones are that we carry in the shop. They are this large. So this is the Fantastic Fasteners we have in the shop. But these are the little ones we're using today. See how tiny they are? Yeah, Creek Bank. They're usually at expos. You want me to hold it again? Okay, hold on. This is my box of fun goodies here. There you go. Ready? Creek Bank Creations. I usually only see them at expos. I've never Googled them online, but I'm pretty sure you can find them pretty easily. I got wobbles in there and all kinds of stuff in that little box. It's the fun box. But we sell this size. It's not as tiny as the Creek Bank ones. Okay, so I need my little dot on top of my Enjoy. So I'm just going to use my Barely Art glue to put a little bit of glue on the top of that. I'm going to place it here. And then it dries, so all that glue that was oozing out, you can't see any of that glue. See how it dries? Like perfect. Like it was a whole bunch in the O, and you can't see it. It dries clear. It's perfect. So now we have a gift card holder that works for this one. It just slides right in there like that. Closes up, and there you go. Oh, he's upside down. There you go. There you go. And I think for these, I might actually put in,
Hey, Cheryl has a question.
you said the bigger one you sell where I looked before came up empty. Tell me where to look for some. They're called Fantastic Fasteners at the sweetsentiment.us. Sweet Sentiment stamp. Sweetsentiment.us. You can find ours at sweetsentiment.us. That's the larger ones. These small ones I got at Creek Bank Creations. And then these are some of the bling dots that we had in our shop. I think we're out of them right now, but we have some bling, just not these tiny ones right now. And I'm just going to put a few of them on here, just because I think they're super cool. And I want to bling it up a little bit. put it over here. Just a little bit. Just a teeny bit. You like the card holder? It is super fun. So I actually have 3 that we can whiz together, because now that I've explained how it works, this one, so those 2 sets, the original one that we just did, at the top of it was shaped like this, and this one is shaped like this. So just a little bit different, but still a gift card holder. Works the same way. Fold the sides, fold the bottom, fold the top. And then I just press it with my espresso to burnish all the edges. A little bit of glue, barely art glue along the sides, on each side. Then I close it up. And you could do this with anything. You could do this with our Christmas set, like the little elves, elfin fun. And we could probably cut these and make them ourselves, but they're a lot easier when they're a die. So this one is our little mummy. So I thought I would put him all together on the front of this one. But this time, I think I'm going to put him on this side, just for the fun of it. So I'm going to put glue all over the back of this. And then I'm going to place it on here. And you could always just seal your gift card holder shut, but I like people to be able to reuse it. I mean, I worked hard on the images. I want them to reuse it if they can. So, regift my gift card holder, if you will. I like to see it get lots of use. This little detail tip here is amazing. You can just go along. I used to really hate gluing these type of words on here because they were so hard to get them on there, but now they're not anymore. Not with this, not with this glue. So I'm just going to press these down. I'm going to press a little bit harder on the edges that are not on the black. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to put this little mummy dude on here. He's so cute. I really like him. And I'm just going to glue him on there. Sometimes we pop them, sometimes we don't. Just decide what you want to do. Ooh, I could have put a sweet spring on him. Maybe I'll put that on my other one. So I'm going to put him on here. He's walking in the middle of nowhere. Hello, how are you today? Okay, so now he's on there. And then on the other side, that's where I can put another one of these. Well, where are they? I cut 4 of them apart. Where'd they go?
Left-hand side top.
Oh, you can see him in the pictures. I mean, you can see him in the video. Funny, funny. See, I thought, why not? Remember, the soft side goes on the top, so peel the soft side off first. And then it will just go here. And then peel this side off. Leave them stuck together. This is the best trick ever. Fold it over and press it down. Then you don't have to line them up. Hey, bones for Jack. You hear Jack walking around now? Then they just pull apart. And then you just stick it back together. And now we have another one. So now we have two gift card holders. We're about to have 4. Are you ready? So let's do this one next. So this is blue again. I tried to stick with the same-ish colors. Oops, I folded that one wrong. So I'll just use this as my bone folder today. I don't use my bone folders anymore. I only use my espresso. It just makes life easier. I like easier life. You like this one already? This one is going to be awesome. I'm excited about this one. This is one of my favorites, I think. You could use this one for any occasion, which I love, love, love. I need universal for any occasion. Now, if I wanted to, just like I said, I could put the glue on these tabs instead. I just have to pay attention to how far up the little flap goes, because if I put the glue too far, then that'll cause some issues. So, where's my other one? Oops. Earthquake. So you can make, with any of these, I love these colors too. You could make gift cards out of any of these planner sets, and they're perfect. They're the perfect size to fit right on one of these gift card holders. It's awesome. Alright, so this one, I think I'm going to put this one on the front again, and then the other one we'll put on the back. So we'll take turns. So half of the cover gets glue, and the other half does not, because we don't want to glue it down. Then we press it with the espresso. And they have, yep, it's a little bit, I got a little bit off, so it gives me, this glue gives me just a second or two to get lined up. And then when it sticks, it sticks. That's why I love it. I was able to fix that perfectly. Yay! Okay, so for this one, I have this, the Ankh, which I love. Planner set. Yeah, we call them our planner sets when they're made in the smaller images like this, and there's 4 of them to a set. It's kind of like, we just kind of refer to them as a planner set. It doesn't actually say it, but because of the size they are, they'd be perfect for a planner or a card or a, you know, versus the large Cleo in Egypt image, which is larger and wouldn't go very well on a gift card set. So we have quite a few of them in the shop if you want to check it out. We have some Copic girls and some, oh, just so many sets. I'm going to put this on there flat again, because I don't want to make the wiggle or popped up. Feel like it will be amazing just laid on there perfectly. But yes, I bet you even have some planner sets and don't even realize that they could be used as planner sets. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, it matches so well. So I was thinking, because it said for you, that I was going to put it across the Ankh like this. For you. I don't know, what do you think? Should I put it on the front like this? Or, yeah, it's going to have to be on the front because it's blue. Maybe like here and here. I think that that would be good. Little stickers would work too. Mm-hmm. They would. Okay, good. You like it. Okay, let's flip it over. We're just going to put some glue on the back of these letters. I'm just going to touch it to kind of take a little bit of the glue away and move it around before I put it on my card. I get messy when I craft. This glue is really amazing. If you rub it between your fingers or on your hand, then it's completely gone. Not sticky or anything. So I love that. I don't mind touching the glue because I don't have to worry about it making my hands sticky for the rest of the day. I learned that doing the make and take too, because so many people were. I was touching so many glue. Nope, don't put your glue there. Nope, don't put your glue there. awesome. So I'm just touching it to kind of lighten up the glue. I don't really need that much for you. I'm going to use this to press it down. I really like it. And it looks so good with all of these colors are perfect. So for this one, same thing. Just figuring out which side is my soft side. Place this inside here. Peel this off. And then fold it over so it's perfect. There we go. See how fast that is? So fast. And then they can just peel it open like that. Perfect. 3 down, 1 to go. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 gift cards. Yay! Okay, so the last one is this one. And I think I might have just, oh no, I didn't. I thought I lost my little dot to my exclamation point. Okay, so I don't know if you can notice, but some of this little accent around the outside looks a little bit different on each one. So it's kind of neat. I really like this. I really like this set. I don't think I've ever made these gift card holders. And I've probably had those dies for a long time. Perfect. See how easy that is? So awesome. Okay, so glue again, just up the side a little bit. You can go all the way up if you want because you know it's not going to put glue where you don't want it. Then hold it on this side, hold it on this side, give it a second to just dry. You love them all. Easy peasy. So easy. There we go. Okay, so for this one, because we have a little fancy, I'm going to do this one on the other side. And I'll show you why in a minute. There's a specific reason why I chose to do this one on this side. And I will explain it in just a moment. Unless you guys think you know, and then you can guess. I'll probably be right. You guys watch me so much. Okay. Then I'm going to put this awesome cat on there. Isn't that amazing? That cat is so cool. All right. Do I want to pop up the cat? I think I do. I'm going to pop up the cat. Pop up the cat. It won't take long. And then I have all these little papers all over everywhere. I'm real good at that. I'm real good at making a mess with that. Go me on the messy. That fits so perfectly in there, it's not even funny. And I cut these up, but I always put the scraps back into the bucket or into the glass jar, because that way I'll use them later. I just might not use them for this project, but I will use them for sure. Then we'll just check and see if he has enough on him. See how his nose dips in? He needs something on his nose. I don't like it when they dip like that. I dip, you dip, we dip. Well, I will miss not going to the retreat. Oh, yeah, it is a bummer. But we'll have more. Don't worry. We've already been talking. There'll be more retreats. I think after this one, we will probably plan another online retreat. The online retreats are just as fun. I teach lots of projects. And we do lots of coloring. and games and laughter, and it's so much fun. So you won't want to miss out on those either. They're very reasonably priced and super duper fun. But let us get past this in-person retreat that we're working on right now, and then we'll talk about online retreats. It'll be fun. Okay, so I think I have this cat on here now. I think he needs some bling though, for sure, for sure. And I think it needs to be this like golden. It'd be so perfect. We'll just put a few of them on there. Like that. We'll just give him a little bling. Oh, I lied. I might have to give him some more. I just can't help myself. I just can't help myself. Alright, a little bit more bling there. Alright, so on the other side, what I thought I would do is I thought I would put the sentiment on this side. So, here we go. I thought that way I cut this sentiment out in a different color so you'd be able to see it on the card. I'm going to put it over just a little bit because I have an exclamation point I want to add to it. There we go. No worries on the glue. We know we don't have to worry about it being a problem. It's probably better if I do it like this. Okay, I have an exclamation point here, if I didn't lose my dot. Nope, there it is, I see it. So I'm just going to put a little bit. This is teeny tiny. But again, there we go. And then I have the little bitty dot here, which is going to be quite challenging. So in this case, I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right here, and then I'm going to put the dot on top. Is there a big difference in Copic Chow versus Sketch color-wise? No. They're exactly the same ink. The Copic Chow and the Copic Sketch are the exact same ink. You refill them both with the same refills. The big differences are the Chow holds less ink, so you don't, it doesn't have as much ink in it. And it only comes in 178 colors, where the Sketch comes in like 356 colors, something-ish like that. I can't remember the exact numbers, but the Sketch come in a lot less colors, but the ink is exactly the same. So you can mix Chows with Sketch. If you already have some Chows and you want to add to your collection with Sketch, you can totally do that. But no, there's no difference in the ink at all. If you color like me, I didn't go with the Chow because for me, I knew I was going to color a lot and I would be refilling my markers a lot more often. So I did not go with the Chow, and also the Chow doesn't have the Copic number on the end. It's just plain blank. And the number, but the number's on the barrel, like this one. It's on the barrel. It's also on the barrel of the Chow. And they're round. These are oval. Sketch is oval, and Chow is round. So the oval ones won't roll off your desk, but the Chow might. So those are the differences I can think of off the top of my head. There are differences, but as far as the ink goes and blending and all that stuff, they're exactly the same. And if they have the same number, like if you have a Chow that's E04 and you have a Sketch that's E04, it's exactly the same. there we go. Now we have 4 of these sweet little guys. Look at that. All in purple and blue and gray. There we go. 4 card holders. Can only do online, can't travel as book because my health. But ladies, if you're going to do a retreat online, you're going to be there, aren't you? Is that what it says? I have to check and see. Retreats. Going to be retreats. You are missing out. Ooh, these girls always have. Help you out all the time. Oh, the best retreats are put on by Sweet Sentiment Stamps. Yay! We do love to do retreats, and I aim to make you guys happy. We make you work, you do projects, you have them completed by the end, but they're not hard, they're not too fast. You can follow them. We make sure you're able to complete them. We have contests, and we give you lots of time to finish them up. So yeah, the retreats are really super fun, and we love doing them, so we will definitely be doing some more. Ooh, I should sit these like this. Not the 2 blue ones together. We make cards and 3D projects. And then tonight we also color her. We're going to do something else with her. We're not going to make a gift card holder with her, so we still have one more girl to color if you guys want to, or we can switch to something else, but we still have her to color, maybe tomorrow night, and then we have her, and we'll make something else, some other card or something out of them. But for tonight, these are the 4 I had for you, and I was a little nervous when I first started out because I was like, this mummy, he might have been a good Halloween card, but then I decided, you know what? I can still use him on a gift card. So this is the back side. This one says enjoy. This one's plain. This one is, those are the backs. The front, these are the fronts. And this one says thanks. Thanks, and the cat's on the back. Super fun. These are super fun. And if you guys can't find the dies or don't know where they are, if you really want, I can break it all down and teach you how to do it in measurements instead. Great learning new things as well. Yay! I have a rather detailed project that I really want to do with you guys, really, really, really bad. But it's going to take a while. We'll have to do it over several nights, but I don't want to break it up so far that I was traveling in between. So now once the retreat is over and I'm back to regulars every single week, I will do that project with you guys, and I'm super excited about it. So keep coming back. Don't go away. I'll be back tomorrow night, 9:30, and 9:30 Central, and we'll do another project or something. We'll color some more, and we'll make something out of our images we color, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love it when you guys come and hang out. I will definitely have some little projects and little things coming down the pipes when we're steady, when my lives are steady Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday every week consistently, and then we'll get that done, and it'll be super fun. So thank you for being here. I really am super thankful that you guys are here every night, and I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I will upload this to YouTube. So if anyone is watching on the YouTube channel, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching here, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. You can rewatch it, replay it, just like you can in the group. So, see you guys later. Good night. Have a good evening.